Yeah.
So we can load 40 hours worth of meetings into a single prompt.
Yeah.
And then say, pick out all the trends, tell me what my sales playbook is, tell me how I could have made more money. And it will analyze every single word and then say, hey, this is what we've heard in the 40 hours worth of meetings you just gave us.
Welcome to PMID episode 5. Today, joined by a very special guest, Trent McLaren, the crown prince of the accounting tech industry. But before we have a chat with Trent, go through the formalities. We are on YouTube, Amazon, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Like, follow, subscribe to us on all of those channels. We'll be recording heaps more episodes and heaps more content. Trent, thanks for coming on.
Joe, how are you? Good to see you. Thanks for having me. Quite a fantastic setup we've got here today. I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, we're here at the ICC. Just found a little pocket in the corner because we're here for ABE. What brings you to ABE?
Accounting Business Expo in my hometown of Sydney. It's hard to pass it up, but a lot of people asking me what brings me here. We don't have a stand or a stall. Actually, it's for the people. It's for this. So I just love catching up with people. We spend so much time online engaging and commenting and posting, but you meet someone saying, oh, is that you, Trent? Or you meet an Ian or a Shay or whoever, and you just get to connect in real life. And it's fun. I like it. It just lets you build that extra relationship a little bit faster because of those digital relationships that we have.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we're here with Anature, right? And to launch our partnership. So I think we'll talk a lot about partnerships and stuff like that. And you've obviously helped us a lot with our strategy around that stuff. But before we get into too much nitty gritty, tell us about you. I know a lot of people know you in the accounting industry, but there'll be people that are listening to this that, tech founders, people in the payments industry and general small businesses. Start from the beginning. What's the Trent McLaren origin story?
Yeah. I'll tell you the
truncated version.
The succinct version. Yeah. This is a part 1 of a 3-part series. No, I'm kidding. I have been working in accounting tech for nearly 14 years. I always say I've had the best apprenticeship ever when it comes to accounting tech. I've done every job you've needed to within a software organization on the commercial sides. SDR, making 50, 60 phone calls every day, being in my car, selling QuickBooks licenses around New South Wales and the country. Worked in other companies, traveling the world at different conferences, public speaking, the works. Most recently, so I've got more t-shirts than most people when it comes to software companies and hats and all those sorts of things. I now have my main sort of focus right now is a company called Vinyl. We're an AI note-taking assistant for accounting and bookkeeping professionals. We record your meeting, we transcribe it, summarize it, we push that data into your practice management system. And we are about to go really heavily on the intelligence layer that sits on top of that, which is super fun. It's a big elevation of where we will be headed, but just where AI is going to take a lot of products this year, I think.
Let's talk about it. What's the intelligence layer? What do you mean by that?
So when you record a conversation at the moment, we've got a transcript and we use that transcript to create a meeting summary so I can see, and in the point of view of an accountant or bookkeeper. So we're calling out all the key things that is important to you. We've picked up all the abbreviations. We've talked FBT, VAT, GST. We've got lodgements for the ATO. These are just things that not all AI pick up because they're horizontal by nature. If I talk to you about a extension that I need in my business, am I talking about a Chrome extension or am I talking about a tax extension? And the context of knowing what would I be talking about if I'm an accountant is not something that's programmed into a lot of these horizontal layers. We're in the processes of developing what we call signals. The idea that I can review a transcript, index and tag that conversation and phrasing to create opportunities that you might have missed, things that you said or didn't say as the client or that I've said and didn't say, that I can now pick up and tell you and say, hey, this might be an FBT opportunity that you need to talk to your client about. This sounds like revenue that you could be picking up off your client that you've missed or not answered properly or they've not answered properly. If I ask my client how confident they are with their budget or their cash flow and they give me a mixed or small answer, our AI can detect that the answer to this question was quite low. Like they're not feeling super engaged or understanding of that particular service line, that might be something you want to talk about, but it's also now something we can store on file against the client record. What's their financial literacy like? Well, we're saying it's low right now based on what we've indexed and observed in the transcript. And that's that intelligence layer that we're now talking about. It's analyzing all the words of what was said and not said to help the firm go, well, what are we missing? Because you're in a conversation. There's things in this conversation I'm going to say and not say, but I'm focused on you, you're focused on me. I'm in a tunnel vision of sorts. I'm not thinking about all the other things. And this intelligence layer is trying to pick up all the other things that it could be picked
Subtle
up.
cues.
Yeah.
And are you pushing that data into other locations? Like, does Vinyl integrate with CRM software, things like that? Or are you also going to be building some sort of functionality that helps them like hand off that information into workflows?
Yeah. So the important part about what we need less of is another dashboard with a thing to saying, hey, we picked up 10 signals on this call. It's the action that needs to happen next. And that's where I think we're getting super excited. Right now in our system, you can record the meeting, see the summary. I can start asking it to draft the next steps email. If I really wanted, I could ask it to draft a scope of work or advice or whatever it may be. And our AI chat writing function will actually do that in the system.
Well, like as in, if you're having a conversation, you can stop and talk to the AI, like while it's
all
recording.
post-meeting. So we don't do any live aid type stuff yet. The idea that you could ask a question live and have it come back to you, something we are exploring. I mean more like having a GPT type function within our app. So it's a chat-based function that has all the context already. So when I say, look at this client for the last 6 months, tell me all the trends that have happened in those meetings, we can do that now.
Yeah.
So we can load 40 hours worth of meetings into a single prompt.
Yeah.
And then say, pick out all the trends, tell me what my sales playbook is, tell me how I could have made more money. And it will analyze every single word and then say, hey, this is what we've heard in the 40 hours worth of meetings you just gave us.
Right. So does Vinyl have like an AI assistant component to it that you can talk to that's basically aggregates all of the information that it's collecting?
100%. So really helpful. We've had a meeting. Post-meeting, I want to draft my next steps, my actions. I might want to create a file note as an accountant or a bookkeeper. We do all of that in seconds. We have people that record board meetings that normally take them 2 hours post-meeting to produce those board minutes. We're now producing those board minutes in seconds, which is wild for those people.
Yeah, that is remarkable. You actually were the first person who really showed me AI, Trent. Like I remember back in, I think it was November 2024 or 23, we were in Adelaide.
Yes.
And I was there with Anacha, and I remember you sitting me down and showing me like you vibe coded something in front of me, and it was the first time. Like obviously, a lot of people hadn't been using AI, but I was kind of like a bit of a laggard when it came to it. You showed me it, and I was like, holy crap! Like my mind just went possibility like bananas, and I think within months I was just like doing everything in AI, like doing all my strategy work, ideating, writing internal documents, reports, the whole kit and caboodle. So you've definitely, from my perspective, been ahead of the curve. I was just thinking when you were just describing some of your Vinyl workflows, like we should try to like make some PMID assistant so I can be like clip that and it just automatically goes and does my clips while I'm talking to it. That would be pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean,
and post them to social media.
You can do that now. I mean, we do this now in, some people know we run an agency as well that helps accounting software companies with their growth, partnerships, go to market.
And that's called
Journey.
Yeah.
It's called Journey. And we do that now. So like we have a transcript and we just record everything now, like as much as we can. Default rule is record all of it, let the transcript be ingested into Vinyl. But within that, I can also now ask the AI, hey, based on this meeting, what are the clips that I should be clipping at what point? And now I'm creating a brief for my creative team where they don't need to scrub through the whole thing. They've got someone saying, hey, here's the brief, here's the parts you need to cut. Pretty soon, the AI will be able to just do that. If I say, hey, I need you to cut here and give me these clips based on what we can see is what we believe to be maybe a more viral type of commentary or whichever, we can do that. It's pretty slick.
And how do you do offline meetings? Like, have you got functionality for that?
Yeah, we just released a mobile app this year. So I can put my phone down here to record this conversation. And it picks up the audio. It identifies the different speakers. So we do have voice print technology built in. So it'll pick up my voice and label me as the speaker. It'll be able to pick up your voice and label you. And every time you've spoken, you can do that up to, I think, like 10 people in a noisy room, cafe, whatever it may be.
Wow.
And then once you've recorded it, we just upload it. It goes through the same processing to produce the summary.
When did you start building vinyl?
Good question. We started doing this in, I think, around, so 2024. I was pretty hell bent on wanting to get this done. We'd been using Fireflies in our
Mm,
agency, and we wanted to understand what would this look like for accounting. What would we need to nail? And that was like early, like March, probably like March, April 2024. I'd started going, how are we going to get this done? By September, October, we'd spoken to a few different agencies and people to try to help us build it. And I think first line of code was written in October or November 2024. So just over 18 months.
mm.
We've been live in billing, like as in subscriptions being live since mid-August last year. So 5 to 6 months.
So it took you about a year of work before you started billing.
We had a particular strategy. We wanted to go, we went in beta first. So if we started the first line of code in, say, the October, we were in beta in market, launched globally on the 1st of April, which was not a joke. Oh, as in April Fool's Day and all,
Oh,
which I wasn't sure if it was unlucky or not. But so we went live in a beta where we were selective on who we would bring onto the platform.
yeah, okay.
We did invite only at first, and by the time we got to July, August, we had just over 1,500 users
That's amazing.
in the beta,
That's amazing.
recording hundreds of hours daily on
Yeah.
the platform.
I was going to ask, and I will actually ask, at the start, were you guys coding with AI the whole time, or
No, so we were doing things pretty old school back then.
yeah,
It was handwritten code, and AI coding was kind of like there, but not really, at the stage that we are now.
yeah,
And I'd argue like AI coding's really picked up in the last like 5 or 6 months,
yeah,
really blowing people away in the last 5 or 6 months. Prior to that, people were like trying to use it, but they were still determining that it's still making a lot of errors. It's
yeah?
hallucinating the way your code structures are. So yeah, no, old fashioned handwritten code.
And has that changed over time?
90% of our code is now AI written.
Yeah, okay. How did you manage that transition? Like that must have been a bit of a challenge to retrofit the code base to start using AI, or did you use AI to solve that problem too?
Yeah, it's a bit of that.
Yeah.
It's not an easy thing, and I wouldn't say we are perfect at this. I don't think anyone is because it is
No, I don't think so
moving
either.
so quickly.
Mm.
But it's just becomes like it's a lot of rapid experimentation. Like I had been trying to build my own things in tools like Lovable and Replit and Cursor since April last year. And with every month an improvement that's come through, it's allowing me to get more and more done.
Mm.
Now I can vibe a new project every week. I've built internal sales tools for our like lead scoring and trial scoring based on product usage and billing data and all kinds of things that would never have been possible before.
Mm.
And I don't know how to write code. Like I'm a non-technical person that is now vibing these pretty detailed
Mm.
tooling that is really helpful for our go-to-market motions that we've never had access to.
Mm.
Where like some of the work we do in the agency, where we're doing research reports, where normally you'd say, hey, here's all the interviews, the Google Docs, the PDFs. What we've started doing is actually laying all that into, say, Cursor and building interactive landing pages that let people query using chat, like Gemini chat, on the database of all the data that we've captured. So we did, I don't know, 12 weeks worth of research, interviews, surveys, all kinds of stuff, lots of data. It ended up being about 90 minutes worth if you had to read it end to end.
Mm-hmm.
But now segmented in really interactive formats like you would in a really nice website where I can like see things broken down properly, and I haven't needed a designer. I've just dumped it all in. The AI's figured it all out. We're now building really nice. There's no reason you can't build great experiences on every little thing that you're trying to do. We've talked previously about building presentations and PowerPoints using tools like Gamma.
Gamma, yeah.
Imagine that every little thing you do now could actually just be a vibed landing page that actually calls out all the appropriate stuff, branded, without you actually needing to waste time in PowerPoints and all that anymore.
So that you just provoked a thought in my mind. Like if you guys are actually collecting all of the transcripts for pretty much all of the conversations that all of your accountants are having. You must know quite a lot about what's going on out there in the accounting industry at the moment. Are you actually doing anything with that data?
Not yet. So I'd argue we know more about all the conversations accountants are having with their clients more than any other provider on the planet right
Oh,
now. Because
pretty wild.
the system has been about the financial data. No
Yeah.
one's tracking the conversational
No, what the genuine
analysis.
problems
I
are.
would say maybe some of the practice management systems that have the email connection with the read context side of things, but what's actually being said, what questions are
Yeah.
actually being asked,
The real sentiment.
we're sitting on like 50 to 60,000 hours worth of conversations.
And you haven't done anything with it yet.
Not yet. Yeah. So we're
Have
pushing
you,
to
have you,
anonymize our data.
yeah,
We don't train our models on any of the content
of
that we've
course.
got. So
It's just getting that raw information.
yeah,
Like
there'll be a
just,
scenario where we would like to come to market and say, hey, like this is really what's going on. These are
yeah,
the key
you guys will
themes.
be able to create some incredible like data studies.
Absolutely. And we do plan to. So I think it's right now it's just been a balance of trying to get foundations in place for product, getting our customers really happy and excited about what we're doing. I think once we get to a little bit more bandwidth and we've got the structure, the best thing about coding is that I can now do things I don't have to ask my development team to do. Stuff like this is a great example of stuff that I'd love my dev team to help with.
Mm.
They're better probably set to help us get the data in a secure environment where we can process it all.
Yeah,
Send it off to us to then let us vibe through
create like
what
an
we're-
MCP out of it or
yeah,
something.
what
like
we're trying to achieve with it.
Yeah.
So we need to be really careful.
Of course.
That's probably our main piece of why we haven't pushed too hard on it.
So let's pivot slightly. Before you mentioned in beta, you had 1,500 users,
Yeah.
was it? And obviously, background is in tech sales, tech growth, tech marketing, the whole kit and caboodle. So you obviously are pretty well placed to do this, what you're doing right now. It's kind of the perfect venture for you. But took us through your approach? Like that seems like a remarkable success story in terms of getting 1,500 users prior to launch.
Yeah.
At the moment, I'm doing a little bit of work with Tech Ready Women, which is an accelerator working with some first-time female founders that are trying to build tech products. And they're all pretty much at the same time trying to find validation and find, people to, validate their products and essentially do beta testing with them.
Yeah.
How did you do it? How did you get 1,500 users? Was it just because you Trent McLaren, or like was there actually a process there that somebody else might be able to like take from and follow?
We have an awesome team, is probably my first comment, and it's not our first time. So
Yeah.
I said before, this is, and my comment at the start was that I've had the best apprenticeship in accounting
Yeah.
ever. And for me, this is just an example of that. Like we've come into this venture knowing exactly where we're going to be, what we're going to do, how we're going to do it, and who we need to be partnering with, because it's not our first time. And a lot of the people, so in any question when I get like, how did we grow, what do we do? Clear strategy, clear objectives. We know who our audience and our customer is. We did not deviate from that. We were very clear on our distribution channels and where we were going to put our messaging consistently every single week, every single month. And we're really clear about the events we were going to go to, the partners that we wanted to work with, and then the tactics that followed: webinars, content, Q&As, getting reviews and case studies, but just trying to amplify the usage, just trying to make it, even having it as a wait list that was somewhat invite only, created a little bit of demand in some cases, because people are like, well, how do I get in on this? I'm like, well, do you really want to? I can share you a link privately if you want. And
Creating
a little bit of that virality came out of it, but we were also the first note taker launched for accounting.
So the idea itself was
like as a niched note taker.
Captivating.
Yeah, like we had a lot of early interest from everyone pre all these AI spin-ups coming out every week. So we kind of got in before all the AI coding really took off. So from that side of things, we were new product in a new category for the industry. So it wasn't like we were coming in as another competitor to another category in another product.
Perfect storm then.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So it's all those things: clear strategy, knowing all the things that we were trying to achieve, and then having the capability to go and do so. We have an agency, 20 staff that allow us to do these things.
Yeah, right.
In the UK, in Australia, in the US. So we didn't just go one market we didn't just launch in Australia on the 1st of April. We launched in all markets on the 1st of Australia. We're in London one week, we're in the US the next week. By the time we did August, if you want to progress to that stage, and launched billing, we had 100 paying customers on day one. We went from all this like usage to going back to our customers saying, cool, we're about to go live with billing. These are the opportunities that you can take advantage of as an early customer.
Mm.
You can opt into that if you want to. Here's our roadmap of what we're pushing for. 100 paid customers on day one.
Wow, that's a remarkable success story. So, like in the context of the question, if I was, a first-time founder and I never had, done this sort of stuff before, hearing what you just said it's probably going to make me just want to like quit because the amount of like 14 years of tech experience, you built an agency before you even tried to launch a product, came up with the perfect idea at the perfect time. Like replicating that is extremely difficult.
The idea is not original though. Like has
Innovative, but
existed.
yeah,
Yeah, but I understand our audience. I get some people coming and saying, "Oh, I got this really idea for this thing in a domain or a niche I know nothing about."
yeah,
And I'm like, I would never do that. Like,
no,
for me, any other venture I'm ever going to do, probably ever, is probably always going to be in accounting tech. Like,
yeah,
I'm
because
not
that's
going
where
to
you,
medical, I'm not going to HR, I'm not going to anywhere else other than what I know really well. So we get hundreds of ideas all the time. Vinyl was our first one, and we think it's going really well, and it will continue to do well. But a few years from now, we might have another idea that we're just going to also launch back at this industry because they're the relationships we have. That's the customers we want to serve, and we're in a very fortunate position to do so.
So let's talk about agentic commerce for a minute.
Okay.
Because Pinch is a payments platform. We're owned by Fiserv, which is one of the world's largest financial services companies, and they're huge right now into agentic commerce. As I scroll through my LinkedIn, there's the CEO, Mike Lyons, talking about agentic, and we're in partnership now with MasterCard doing all sorts of crazy stuff. Have you considered, how Vinyl or an AI note taker experience might be able to actually trigger some sort of agentic commerce flows? Has that been something that you've considered?
100%. So for us, Node Takers, step one, it's our wedge into our space. Where that evolves into is client and customer relationships. We probably evolve into a customer relationship platform that captures more than just meeting context. It'll probably be email context, phone calls, text messages, could be a live chat on your website. Basically anything that can help interact with customers directly, let the AI analyze it and then make decision or triage to the right person. That's the way we probably think about it. Right now, what we're trying to do is record the conversation, let the AI signal it out and go, hey, here's all the opportunities. Do you want us to take action on that? That's a human in the loop type scenario. Eventually, we're going to get to a point where we can just start to automatically follow up with your customers based on context, deadlines, reminders, upcoming meetings, upcoming agenda for that meeting, things that we talked about to see, did you go and do that? Have you lodged it? All the things that accountants and bookkeepers are too busy to do. We hear about it all the time. There's too much compliance. There's not enough staff. They're overworked. They're underpaid. They're not pricing enough. They're not comfortable enough to price at the right level. They don't have time to do all the admin. If you talk about why they lose clients, or when you hear I chat to my business owner friends on why you changed your accountant or your bookkeeper. It's like, oh, I tried to call them and they never come back to me, or I emailed them and I never heard from them because it's buried in that inbox of all the stuff that they're trying to manage, plus all the invites to the yacht parties and webinars that we're running. So we're trying to help understand, how do we take away the things that our customers do not have the time to do? How do we help them be a better front foot relationship, like building those relationships more effectively, agentically?
I was visualizing as you were talking, like thinking, after you have your conversation with your customer, are you happy now? Do you mind if we, send you the invoice or whatever? And it, like, even I'm just like thinking like proper Minority Report style, like heads up display, pops up and it's like initializing payment. Be sick. I genuinely think we're not far away from stuff like that, to be honest.
We think about it from referrals, reviews, all kinds of things. Like if you've paid your invoice, can I send you a really nice followed up email after the invoice being paid saying, hey, are you happy with our service? Do you mind leaving us a review and or clicking through here? And if they go and do that and we can find that review has come through, that could agentically go and do the next thing as part of the workflow. I think previously a lot of our workflows are based on integration between my system and your system, but now we're getting to a point where agents can review and read things on a website to trigger a workflow. If I see a new updated review on a website, I need to go and do something somewhere else.
Man,
That's not integration required. That's an agent or, like a crawler going through the website to pick up and go, oh, that meets my criteria. Now I can go and do X.
Yeah, true. What took you so long to make your own startup? Like 14 years of like accounting tech, you'd obviously developed yourself a brand and an agency. Like that's a pretty long journey in professional career. Like they say that it takes about 7 years for somebody to become like, an expert enough to be able to go out on their own. And you've obviously always been entrepreneurially minded. Why 14 years and not 7?
Yeah, it's a good question. I always like to think and ask myself that as well. I started when I was 23. I'm, a young man. I had lots to learn in both life and business at that stage. I got married quite young. We were living our life, doing our things. We moved overseas to London in 2019. We were in London during COVID, and I think it probably delayed a few things within that. We moved back to Australia in the end of 2020 to 2021. And that was probably around the right time that this could have taken off. But what I didn't have at that stage is probably that product developer experience relationship. I didn't have a big network of engineers in my side of things. I have always had a really good rapport and network on the commercial go-to-market marketing sales side of things. And I still benefit from that today. New sales hires, helping other people hire people. Like, we become a pseudo recruitment agency sometimes for our clients on the agency side just because of that. By the time we wanted to start building product, I would say even that wasn't super straightforward, and I just had to go and have a lot of conversations, had to go and spend a lot of time and be prepared to spend my own money. Like we spent maybe 60, 70 grand on the vinyl, first version of the vinyl product, and it came out of our own cash. It's not an easy thing to do. We've now a little bit different. We're much more. We raised $2 million in funding last year on the vinyl side, but before we did all that, like, we're bootstrapping. So we probably were never in a good position as an employee to pay for that stuff, and it was never not cheap. Not like it is today with some of the prototyping you can do in Lovable and Cursor and things like that.
So how is it going? I mean, obviously, everything you're saying sounds like it's been pretty much just nonstop success. Like you had 1,500 pre-live, you went live, you had 100 on day one paying. I know you've already had your first round of investment. So congratulations on that.
Thank you.
Have you had any setbacks? Has there been?
Oh, we always, everyone has setbacks. It's not rosy, but I think that also comes with, we expect things to not work out all the time. And that's okay because we've been through that before. Like we've been in so many different environments where things haven't always gone our way, and we just have to figure it out and get it done. And I think that tenacity and that ability to, we know what our goals are, and the only person that's going to stop us getting them are us.
Yeah, cool.
So
that's it, isn't it?
That's all it is. Like I'm not relying on someone else to make my reality come true. Like I'm going to get that done, and we're going to figure that out. Like regardless of what someone else thinks. We have things that we don't get it right all the time. We have issues in our product sometimes, like other people do. We have support tickets. We have customers that have good experiences. We have customers that have experiences we wish we could have fixed before that had happened to them. But we're very committed to always, putting that customer first and putting their needs, first in what we're trying to, like, we're trying to build a great product at the end of the day. We have good commercial capability, but without a strong product and a strong focus on that user experience, like it doesn't matter. Like it's not going to last if you can't nail that part.
How many accounting practices are using vinyl right now?
So to put it into more context, we put on 42 new firms last month. We've already put 32 new firms on this month, and it's only the 19th. We only put our first sales hire on last month. So we've been doing everything between, co-founders and product team. I'm expecting that to continue. So I expect that we'll keep adding 40 to 50 new firms per month for the rest of the year, and hopefully that'll just keep crawling worldwide. So that's mostly between Australia, North America, so US and Canada, and then the UK as well. We do pick up some South African customers too, which has been awesome. Got a good network of firms out there that we, have connected with over the years that were keen to get us in. But yeah, so overall we're getting pretty close to 400 paying firms, and then over 3,000 users on the platform at the moment.
I've been encountering more and more people who, like, I've sort of been referring to them as Claude pilled, right? Like red pilled, but Claude pilled. It just seems like every man and his dog now has like discovered the how powerful it is, and how much product development you can do with it now.
Yeah.
And I'm worried, to be honest, because I'm seeing people who are like, genuinely, running good businesses, or like, they're successful in their careers, like getting, fixated on the idea that they can go and like, develop their own product overnight and it'll be a success. And from my vantage point, I can see dozens and dozens of people in my direct network doing the same thing. And that means there must be hundreds, if not thousands, of people in my extended network doing the same thing. And if everybody's doing it, is anybody doing it? Right? Because like we're using the same models, the same models compressing the same information, giving us the same steer, the same validation, and the same ideas. What would your advice be for people who are going through that experience?
I think your your competitive advantage previously used to be product, right? As in we built a product, we've got 2-3 years of engineering was nothing to sneeze at previously. You've got a really deep code base. And to an extent, I would say that that's still going to stack up. Like if you tell me you've rebuilt a product in a month or 2 months that took someone else 5 years to build, like I'm going to question the hell out of how deep and well built your 2-month-old product is, regardless of how the code has gone. And I think that's probably the part that's missing. Where like most people that are building things are building front end things. I can click a button that does the thing. But then trying to get it integrated into like email notifications and SMSs and all those sorts, like that's a very complex experience still for a lot of people. What I would say is that building products is easier than it's ever been. Marketing and distribution, growing brand is now the thing that people need to focus on. Being able to sell your product has always been the hard part. Sure, you can build something, who's buying it? And how are you getting that done? To my point before, we're doing sort of 30, 40 new paying firms per month. In our agency, I work with a lot of like our clients that might only do 5 of them. We think we do a really great job for them on the marketing side. It just depends on your products and everything else. But I think marketing and sales has to be the new thing that people can differentiate on. If you have a really strong commercial capability and now strong product capability, amazing. If you just have strong product capability but no one's using it, who cares? Like it's just sitting in your GitHub repo doing nothing except you're excited about what you've built.
Yeah, I agree. I think that it's the era of the networked individual, isn't it? Like the more that we all get Claude pilled and spend all of our time back and forthing with chatbots and stuff like that, it's just making me think that the real differentiation is like communication and real world relationships and networks and coming to events like ABE, meeting people in the real world. That's actually becoming scarce.
I think one thing I've had a thought on this week around this is that as an existing vendor, your competitor, I think that landscape changed a little bit. Your competitors all have access to this tooling, but your competitor is also likely your own customer. There's a good chance they do try to vibe and build their own thing to solve a need that you're doing. And I think that's a different type of churn that we haven't probably expected before. We've always heard people say like, oh, I'm just going to build our own, and we're invested in, spending the time and the money to do it. I think there's more like, I could build my own survey system now if I want to. I don't need to use a Tally or whatever. I can find better ways to bring a lot of that tooling in. I mentioned before that we've built our own internal sales hub to consolidate 4 or 5 data sets into one piece. I'm probably now saving $500 to $1,000 a month in subscriptions I could have paid for, and getting an outcome that works more bespoke for us. And that's great. And I expect that we will do more of those things. So I'm my own competitor against those kind of products that exist. I think that's it's moving so quickly. It's very hard to understand what the impact is, but I think you need to be mindful that it's coming at all angles now, that your competitor is actually your customer, that thinks, hey, I'm going to do this for me. Will everyone do that? I think I saw this stat come up again yesterday, but I think only 2, 3, 4% of the world globally are getting their head in the sand with this stuff. There's one person in the accounting firm that's so excited about Claude in Excel, and everyone else is just doing it old school manually in Excel. So we're still a fair ways off. Like, we
2 or 3 weeks. Yeah.
it's
No, you're right. It is it feels like
we are in
things
a
are
bubble, right? It's important to acknowledge we're in the bubble. What we are seeing, because we're at the front of it, trying to be worried about our jobs, is not, the what you'd call like the slow or the laggards and the majority. They're nowhere near that stuff. Like, they're still figuring out having a paid GPT subscription. They're not living in the same world that we are, depending on who your customer is.
Let's talk about Journey for a bit.
Yeah.
Journey helped us in 2025 put a lot more strategy and focus on our go-to-market strategy for accounting. Your focus with Journey, correct me if I'm wrong, is you help accounting tech apps with that sort of stuff. How's that been going? Like, what's
It's a fun story for me because it was another version of a success story, to be honest. Like, we talked before about not having the ability to like pay and find developers and investing 50, 60K to get a beta built. We would never be able to do that as an employee in a business. I finished up with a startup on the back of a redundancy after 11 years in the space. And at that point, I said, I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to go and work for another person. I need to go and do something for myself. You asked me earlier, why didn't I do this sort of at the year 7 or 8? I kind of had that happen to me at year 10 or 11. And that's when that happened. Journey started as just me consulting, selling my time for a few brands. We worked with companies like Expert and Anature. They were our first 2 customers.
Oh, wow.
Super exciting. By month 6, we were doing $100,000 monthly recurring revenue in our agency, and we had nearly 15 staff. We'd launched a UK office as well. We were trying to help brands in Australia launch in the UK into Australia, into the US. And sure, we made a lot of mistakes. We spent a lot of money. We've made wrong hires. We made good hires. We experimented with offshoring. This is all pre-AI. We have reinvented ourselves every year in the agency side. That business does around $60,000 to $70,000 a month in service revenue, more than vinyl, I would say, at the moment, and it pays my rent. So
awesome.
That's I don't make any money on the vinyl side. Like, we run Journey and want to do a really good job with Journey so that we can do other things like vinyl, but we also have the firm, our media publication and business as well. Yeah, so Journey has been a really great experience because I'd never run a services business or an agency before, and you've had to learn the benefits of process and team and getting the right capabilities and just economics. When I first was hiring contractors and freelancers, like, I was very accommodating. They said what their rates were, and I didn't want to ever push them on their rates because they gotta eat, and I need to get work done. So we just made it all happen. But if you don't get those economics right to know, well, hey, this is actually what I can spend, and this is what I need you to do. Yeah, it can. We've had to reinvent ourselves as the years have gone on because we've needed to do more outsourcing, or we've brought AI in, which meant we could, spend less on other areas or other people, which is always tough because there's people involved. But that felt like my first startup. Vinyl has felt like my second, where I made all my mistakes in Journey, and in Vinyl was able to run a lot faster and harder without the emotional baggage of I'm going to hurt someone's feelings and I want to do their best work and all that kind of stuff.
So you gained the confidence, and also happened upon AI that probably helped you structure a lot of your thinking as well.
100%. All the AI usage we had inside Journey has helped us to what we can do in Vinyl, both in product, but also just in our ability to deliver the work that we deliver at scale.
So talking to somebody who works inside of a corporate, how should they be using AI in their day-to-day?
Hey, it's an interesting question because I would say you shouldn't obviously use any free versions of AI to upload customer data and all that sort of stuff. I think if you're listening to this as an employee, you need to push your organizations that, hey, we need an AI strategy and policy, and you need to give us the tooling to be able to do this efficiently. And that has to come at the top. I think people at the bottom need to be pushing for that stuff, saying, and we need to be running at this and leading with this, but they need to be enabled by their leaders and that strategy from the corporate at the top. If that's not happening, then it's going to be really hard for them to utilize it the right way. If you're the manager or the owner, you should be allowing your team members to run at this as hard as possible in secure environments so that they can be more efficient. But for me, I encourage everyone to just find a project you can experiment with.
Yeah. Okay.
So I mentioned before that I'm vibing a new internal tool every other week. It comes out of my own needs of trying to do something that's more taking things to another level. So again, we could have delivered our reports in PDFs and PowerPoints. We chose to spend 3 to 5 hours vibing a really interactive experience with AI chat that summarized things better than we could have done previously. And we're doing that now every week. Like, we think about the way we do proposals. It's like, well, there was a way of doing it and we could do it in a Word doc and this, that, and the other, but why can't we vibe a really interactive experience together? And again, that does put pressure on tools out there that do a great job of those things, but we have a mindset and an approach we're trying to take. We're trying to blow people away. We're trying to show people that we are different, forward-leading, thinking, and create experiences that go, wow, I didn't expect this. You've way over-delivered. And that's been the case so far. Anytime I've delivered, we have investors on the vinyl side. I built together a board pack app that sucks in 10 different data sources and just gives all the information in like seconds. We set up we were talking about a data room or, for future investment. I gave that to a potential investor the other week and they were like, holy heck, we normally just get spreadsheets and PDFs and recordings. You've delivered this thing that we've never seen before. If this is any indication of what it's like working with you guys, you're putting your best foot forward. This is what we're hearing from investors that chat to startups all the time. And we want to be that. We want to be leading in all those things, and AI gives us the ability to do it. For the team members that are watching this, you've got to put pressure on your leaders. For the leaders that are watching this, you need to enable your team and do it the right way and have a strategy. And weekly, our vinyl team experiment every Friday for 4 hours on whatever they want in vibe coding that helps our customers. We give them that space to go and learn the tooling, figure out how it's going to help your workflow, and then how it's going to help our customers with the ideas that you've got based on what you hear. Our benefit is that we record every conversation. So all of our team can access all the demos we've had that week, that month. We can pick out key themes. That's a real big part of our culture now, is just record everything, analyze it, vibe with AI, and just as it keeps getting better, what are we learning from that to give back to our ideal customers?
How can an accounting practice get hold of vinyl?
You can go to usevinyl.com, usevinyl.com, start a trial. You can use it for free. I always make the joke that if this doesn't work out, we will start a used vinyl website and I can sell secondhand records because we've got a good domain name for it. But yeah, usevinyl.com and try it out. It's fantastic. I think you'll get a lot of value out of it. That's what our customers tell us. So.
And for the accounting tech providers out there, what about Journey? Yeah,
so it's Let's Journey, LETS Journey.io. Same deal. You can go on that, see the work that we do, the case study. You can reach out to us on LinkedIn. We're pretty active on LinkedIn. It's one of our distribution channels for both Journey and Vinyl. So yeah.
Thanks so much for coming on.
Hey, no worries. Thanks for having me. This was fun.
Cheers.